Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca Shoemaker and I'm a Title I reading specialist for the Butler School District, and I work with students at Butler Catholic and St. Magdalene's. So today I would like to take a few minutes and talk to you about using Dolch sight word lists. The Dolch sight words are a list of words that are both sight words and decodable words. So decodable words are ones that you can sound out using phonetic knowledge. So like the word cat can be sounded out. And it is a word that is very common or frequently used in a lot of children's stories. But there are other words that are sight words that are ones that cannot be sounded out using phonetic knowledge. And so these are words that should be mastered, he believed, for instant recall. The word lists are divided into levels. They start with pre-primer, primer, and then they go first, second, third grade, depending on how the list is structured. Each list can consist of about 40 words. Usually when I'm taking and working with my students, I take and I give them one list at a time of about 20 words. When I take and I present the words to them, I take and I show them one at a time in the list and have them read the list to me. As they're reading through the list, I keep track of, on a separate sheet of paper off to my side where I'm working, I keep track of the words that they do not know, the words that they have to sound out, or the words that there's a great deal of hesitancy before they say it. I'm not looking for speed when they're reading these, but I am looking for them to know the word quickly with recall. When they are done reading that list of 20 words, if all 20 is done and they knew them very well, they didn't have any hesitations or have to sound anything out, then that word list is set aside. Now I'll come back to it now and again and review that with them, but that one is considered done. When they go through the list of words, if there's a few words in the list that they're not sure of, I'll take and I'll practice those lists with them or those specific words. Usually it takes about 3 times for most children. There are children that it takes longer, and that's fine. When I have a child that's missing more than 5 words in one list, then I take and I split the list in half. And I present the child with 10 words at one time, and that's what we work through. That's our sight word list. So they read through those, we practice them, we write them, I tell them the word, we spell it, we take and we trace it, we look for it in stories, we highlight it, and sometimes we play games with it, and sometimes we take and do flashcards. That's a whole nother video on how to read those or practice those sight words. So if I have that list of 10 words, again, I keep track of that, and I want to know if they can read all 10 of those at one time in one sitting, quickly and easily. Then I take and I go to the next set of 10 in that same list, that list of 20, and I go to the next 10, and I have them practice through those. When they're all done with that second list of 10, we go back and we look at all 20 at one time again. And we keep practicing that, taking and working specifically on words that they are struggling with. Again, when that list is done, they've got through all 20, I set it to the side. Again, I come back to those lists every now and then just to make sure that we've got them done, that they're remembering. There are some tricky words in each one of those lists, so it's important for the student to know, to keep coming back. These are ones they have to know. Even if we're not practicing right at that time, they're going to need to know that list or that word. So where do we find sight word lists? Well, the Dolch sight word list that I specifically use, these are found on several different websites, and you can do a Google search for them. There are two websites that I primarily use as my reference point for my parents. The first one is a website that's ATOZ, Teacher's Stuff. So ATOZTEACHERSTUFF.com. So if you go to Google and you type in A space TO space Z and then Dolch, DOLCH, that will take and bring up the link to part of the web page. On my Google Classroom, I do have all of these pages and documents linked and the websites listed also. The second website that I use is dolchword.net. So DOLCHWORD.net. And it gives a good deal of information, again, on what Dolch words are and some great resources for you. So both of these websites provide word lists. Some of them are alphabetical, some of them are in frequency. That means the ones that kindergartners would most likely see, the students would most likely see most often. There's some games, and they have them separated into games that are printable, like bingo, flashcards, things like that. And then they also have on the dolchwords.net, dolchword.net, they also have online games in addition to the printable ones.